Hey, sports fans, this is Robert with WTP Sports Dudes here live for another edition of the Thursday forecast. I'm here on this New Year's Day with my man T1 of City League TV, also of Somebody Else. How you feeling this morning, T1?
Hey, feeling great. It's a new year, 2026. We get a chance to start it all over, do it again. But anything we might have messed up back in 2025. So, hey, it's a beautiful day, man. Took one on the chin last night, but hey, it's a new year, man. I'm ready to rock and roll.
All right. We've also got our man Mossberg of Level Up Sports 10 here with us this morning. How you feeling, Mossberg?
Man, this is a new year. So I was thinking, why not, man? As always, man, feeling good, feeling great. Just blessed to start another new year and set the morning off, seeing the guys, doing what we do best. All I've been doing is thinking about how far we've come. That night, us three sat up till 1, 2 in the morning, had the exclusive, authentic conversations of what we do here today with WTP Sports Dudes. And it's just a blessing to start another year and to look forward to the things that we have planned to come and just doing what we do, bringing it to the people.
Yeah, man, I'm glad to see you both here this morning. Of course, Happy New Year to you both as well. Let's go ahead and get into what we saw yesterday. Me and T1 was talking a little minute ago, and yesterday's slate of football games, man, was outstanding. We got to see really, really good football being played from start to finish. And I know you both agree that we had some really good football yesterday. First up, we had Duke 42 over Arizona State 39. What is y'all's thoughts on that game? And how do y'all feel about those two quarterbacks? The one for Duke, Mensa, and Jeffrey Sims for Arizona State. Those dudes was balling.
Yeah, great offensive, high-powered game. And the ACC represented once again yesterday, man. The ACC put on a show. Um, Great game and great way to kick off that New Year's Eve bowl Wednesday. Kudos to Duke.
As Parlay Poe was talking about Mensa being the hottest quarterback in the ACC the next few years, I think it was on full display with a repertoire that we didn't see coming yesterday in this banger we had. And like you said, Sims, on the other hand, for Arizona State, I think we able to see a lot of young talent that's going to be playing in the years to come. That can change the way they programs move and change the direction as well. So for me, the ACC, not only did I call this win for Duke, but looking good, man. Starting the new year off right with the ACC. So I was definitely pleased and happy with Duke's performance, but as well with Arizona State, knowing what they dealt with in the transfer of their QB, but next man up, being ready to play and leading his team and almost getting the win. But Mensa, we see what he's going to be like in the years to come, as Parlay Poe said yesterday.
Let's also welcome our man SEC Sean to the show and get his thoughts on that Duke 42, Arizona State 39 game yesterday. What's your thoughts on that one, SEC Sean? And Happy New Year to you, by the way.
Yeah, Happy New Year.
Happy New Year, SEC.
I mean, I picked Duke to win the game. I didn't really expect it to be that close or that much of a shootout. I just felt like Arizona State would struggle more without Levitt there, but um, they looked pretty good still with their backup QB there. But like I said, I think Duke's offense was just. I thought Duke's offense was too electric coming into this game, so didn't watch a whole lot of it because I was actually more watching the other game that was on at the time. But just kind of kept up with it and watched some highlights and just kind of went as I planned. I mean, I thought Duke would win, just thought it'd be a wider margin, but got that one right at least.
Man, when I watched the parts that I did watch yesterday of this Duke and Arizona State game, I'm thoroughly impressed with both of those quarterbacks, man, and actually their supporting cast as well. They were able to use a multitude of their talent, their running backs, their wide receivers, their tight ends. Those quarterbacks was able to get everybody involved. Also, they were able to use their legs at times when they needed to use their legs. I had no idea that Arizona State's quarterback Jeffrey Sims was as dynamic as he was. Now, of course, I know they didn't want him doing a whole lot of running because he's fumble prone. If he can fix that going into the 2026 season and have that ball security, they're going to be dangerous, bro. Because this guy got some wheels, he got a good arm, and he's very talented. And I'm quite sure Arizona State and that coach that they have in Cal Dillingham, I think that's his name, they're going to have the weapons around him that he needs to be successful. Now, on the other side of the ball, though, they got to get that defense together. You can't be giving up 42 points if you Arizona State, and you can't be giving up 39 points if you do. So if they get those things together, man, they can be two really good teams in their conferences next year, Duke in the ACC and Arizona State in the Big 12. So I'm anxious to see, and I'm going to follow both of these guys next year to see how well they do during the season. So I was glad to see both of them play really, really well yesterday, and some of their supporting cast too. We have number 15, Utah, dropped a 44 burger on Nebraska 22. I think we all felt like Utah was going to be too powerful for Nebraska, especially without Dylan Raiola and a couple of other players that we knew weren't going to be playing in this game for Nebraska. What's your thoughts on this game, and did y'all have a whole lot of interest in watching?
Not at all. Not at all. Knew that would probably be a fairly easy one for Utah. Just knowing how Nebraska was coming into this game, but this was one of those games where me personally, I didn't care to watch, and I didn't.
I was super interested in this game. It ranked on my list of things to do right below watching paint dry and above watching grass grow. So yeah, I mean, come on now. I think we all knew what was going to happen in this game, and it did. So no need to really dwell too much on this one.
T.Y., I think you did put the house in on this one, man. Can we get that studio for the whole squad? Because I think you did put the house in on this one, man. Yeah, Utah, this was a cakewalk, knowing what Nebraska going through. It's some answers, for me in Nebraska, having so many high hopes these last few years and then seeing their quarterback transfer. I think there's something in the water over there, possibly. I don't know, but something got to be done in Nebraska. We know they're in the Big Ten. That goes to show how good Utah is. They might have been putting points up there to show they deserve to be in the playoff as well.
But sure enough, ain't no football in the water up there in Nebraska.
Yeah, Nebraska is fastly becoming what Wisconsin has been here lately, and I'm hoping that both of these teams can rebound. The issue is they both are in a conference where, man, you got Ohio State, Oregon, Michigan when they can get it together. USC is on the rise, and you got two or three other Penn State. You got two or three other teams that you can sprinkle in there, man.
Penn
Where you
State,
got,
Iowa, Illinois.
yeah, you got 7 or 8 really, really solid teams that you're going to fall behind if you're Wisconsin and Nebraska. But right now, we're talking about this Nebraska team who I don't know what they're going to do, man. Do they got money in Nebraska to where they can get some guys to come there and play? We know that it was a storied program in the past, but it has not been a solid program for probably a decade or more. They have got to do something there. I really like their coach. I think he's a really good defensive-minded coach, but he's going to have to figure some things out, man. He was able to get Dylan Raiola to come there, who now is transferring out. But what is their future looking like? They're going to have to figure that thing out. Utah, on the other hand, they still play physical football. Hopefully, whoever their new coach is, and I think they probably already hired that guy, they continue to play physical like they play, and they can still continue to keep the style of play that they've been playing under Cal Willingham.
Just a quick thought. T1, how long, I mean, really anybody, how long have Washington been in a Big Ten?
It's only the second year. This only everybody. This only the West Coast team, Pac-10, 12 teams.
Okay, second year. So they came in with, I wasn't for sure if it was before, it's just be so much going on at once. But
yeah, they did.
Knowing that, I think seeing how Nebraska's going, getting that when Washington came in and seeing how they are now, could Washington be a team that's moving in that status of going up and Nebraska be going down in this conference? That's just something to think about even too.
Absolutely. Washington is one of those teams in the Big Ten that if they're on your schedule, you're going to have a game. And as we were speaking about, just the games that have been played, not only just yesterday, just the past couple of days. And I'm here to say I couldn't be more prouder of my Big Ten. Although my Buckeyes went down, I'm sure we're going to get into that a little earlier. But I just couldn't be more prouder of my Big Ten, and they going out here and showing and doing what they have been doing for the past 3 years when it comes to these bowl games and when it comes to just lining up and playing football, regardless of who's out there on that field. So I'm just hoping here in the near future we just get a little bit more respect when it comes to the rankings, and you have teams like as you just mentioned, Washington and Iowa and Illinois. I mean, we demand respect, man. And Nebraska isn't helping it any, but Nebraska is one of those teams that's down on the bottom right now, where we know that's going to be one of the teams where you most likely going, you may have to fight a little bit, but you most likely going to come out of there with a victory.
Yeah, I like that you mentioned that too, because I think even for myself, because sometimes I'll be hating on the Big Ten and as an SEC guy, and we all know that I got a storied history of being a little bit biased for the SEC since my Texas Longhorns are there and a little bit down on the Big Ten. But one thing I can say about these Big Ten schools, man, they understand the purpose of playing in a bowl game and going out there and maximizing effort, physicality to springboard themselves into the next season, into winter workouts and into spring. And they come and they play hard and they play physical. They don't make excuses, man, just because it might be a bowl game that people aren't interested in. They go out there and put a good product on the field. And kudos to the Big Ten, who I think now is maybe 6-2, 7-2, something like that.
About 7 and might be 7 and about 7 and 3. Yeah.
Yeah. They got a really good record. That's for sure.
Took 2 L's yesterday, but that 8-4 Iowa against that 10-2 Vanderbilt, that was just music to my ears.
Yeah, I'm glad you mentioned that too, because we're gonna springboard into that game. Number 23 Iowa dropped 34 on number 14 Vanderbilt, 27. What's your thoughts on that game? And this Iowa team, man, listen, They are for real.
Let me say this. When this bowl game was put out there, I was like, I didn't like it because I'm like, come on now, you're gonna put a 10-2 team against an 8-4 team. I didn't like that matchup. That I didn't see anywhere where they said that would be, or they thought, or we thought that would be, a nice evenly matched game right there. But that Big Ten, man, what I just keep trying to tell people, and we talked about the Iowas and the Washingtons and the Illinois. Like, these are teams that you have to play year in and year out. Like, you're going to have to play them. They're not just walkover teams. And for them to go and do that to a 10-2 SEC team where I even had to take a double take and like, how did a 10-2 SEC team not get into the playoffs? That was amazing. But for that Iowa Hawkeye team to put this together, and we know that they have one of the best coaches in college football. He may not be a top ranked coach, but he's one of the best coaches in the game, and he's been doing it for a while. So big kudos to Iowa. They really represented the Big Ten well this victory.
I had Vanderbilt winning this game. Not even gonna lie. I thought Pavia would be the difference in the game. The Vanderbilt came out looking like it was an NBA All-Star game. Let's just play and have fun. And Iowa came out and said, "Now here's our lunch kit. Where's my time clock? Let me clock in," and bodied them. Now, I mean, Vandy made it close in the second half, but you got to give all the credit in the world to Iowa for coming out and saying, this is a football game. We're not here just to play around and have fun." So give all the credit in the world to Iowa. But I thought Pavia would make enough plays to win the game. I can see. I think you saw, no, not to take anything away from Iowa, but I think you saw that missing Stowers at tight end affected Pavia in the first half. It took him a while to figure out who he could trust. Like, he lost his security blanket and didn't know what to do. So, but, hey, that's the nature of the game. People opt out all the time. Iowa did what Iowa needed to do. Whoever that OC is at Iowa needs to get a raise. I mean, 2 years ago, they were averaging like 12 points a game. Then his first year, they went to 22. And then now they're up to like almost 30 points a game for Iowa. And with that defense, that's a scary combination.
I don't think I can say anything less than exactly what you guys said. I think Iowa, when I watched this game, I got enough of it before it finally ended. But Iowa, I think these next few years could be a team in the Big Ten and make the next step up and possibly getting the showing in the Big Ten championship. It's a lot of things to be said, I think, within conferences respectively. I know everyone's not a fan of the bowl games, but when you think of the Big Ten, when you think of the SEC, when you get those matchups in this one at that state, I think they want to play. And Iowa said, we hear this talk, we're going to come in and we're going to play. And like you said, they hit that time clock, man. They ain't punch out until boss said, y'all got overtime. And he said overtime is with a couple suicides after this big victory in the champagne bottle. Big Ten over SEC. And they win in games and bowl games this season. I think this put them even atop from how they were last year in the bowl game representation. So the Big Ten is definitely putting talk of being the top of this echelon in conferences. However you put it, they right there. If you want to say just my opinion, because of what they're doing in bowl games and having the players that's playing those top players, that's the thing that I'm looking for as well.
Just
Yeah.
you realize that if
So
I
go
asked you a
ahead,
trivia if I asked you a trivia question of which active head coach has the most bowl wins, how many of you would say the Iowa head coach?
I would.
None of us would. But he is. He's got 11 bowl wins, more than anybody else that's active right now. And that just tells you the consistency of his program. And going 8-4, 9-3 every year isn't acceptable at a Texas, Ohio State. I'd say A&M, but it has been here recently. That's not acceptable at those schools. Georgia, Alabama, it's not acceptable. But in Iowa, you're a king.
With the bowl win too,
Yep.
9-4 bowl win against a top SEC team. That's a great season.
Right.
They're happy right now. They're happier than Ohio State right now.
They're already starting the statue construction for him.
Yeah, as it's well deserved.
Right. But like I said, you're not going to take that at an Ohio State or a Texas or a Bama or a Georgia. You're not going to take that. So, but yeah, 11 bowl wins. It's crazy.
Yeah.
If you left Florida State out, was that for any type of reason or?
No, it wasn't for any type of reason.
See. Yeah, let's speed this up so we can get to them boys, man. Because it might be a hurricane on your back porch waiting on you, T.Y. Because KT might be knocking at your back door with an orange juice or some of that. What is it you drink? Your favorite juice.
T.Y., you silly, bro.
You silly, man.
When I seen this matchup though, Iowa and Vanderbilt, I was excited about it because I knew it was going to be two contrasting styles. A defensive team against an offensive team, and then on the flip side, a Vanderbilt team that really cannot stop anybody offensively. And I knew that the physicality of Iowa was going to get them some issues because they can't handle that physicality that being Vanderbilt. I just didn't expect for Iowa's quarterback to be throwing dimes to that tight end the way he was. I knew he was going to get the tight end the ball, but I thought it was just going to be short throws where the tight end had to catch and run. I didn't know he was going to be throwing dimes like that, man. He played exceptionally well. Their defense, I think, played really, really well as well. Just once you get up on a team and you're beating them the way you're beating them, you know a team got to get pass happy, and you got to change up your scheme defensively, and a team can throw the ball all over the field on you because you're trying to protect that lead. But I think if this game would have been a game where Vanderbilt didn't have that opportunity to do that, Iowa possibly could have blew them out, man, because I think they were the better team that day. They made it look very, very easy, too. And I think Diego Pavia showed some magic in there in the second half, and he gave the fans what they wanted to see, short of a victory, though. But I think that Iowa is one of those teams in the Big Ten that you can count on getting to a good contest every single year to get you prepared for whatever's going to come down the road, whether it be in the college football playoffs or in a bowl game later on down the road. There's always going to be a team that's going to be there in the thick of things in the Big Ten. Kudos to Iowa yesterday on their win, 34-27 over Vanderbilt.
Yeah, and hey, you got to remember, Robin. I know you don't follow the Big Ten like that, but Iowa is like a tight end university. Iowa always has great tight ends. Iowa is going to use that tight end, and as you saw yesterday, they connect with the tight end in big ways in big games, and kudos to Iowa. Great victory for Iowa yesterday.
Yeah, they got like three of them, three nice ones, and one or two of them are young. So you're going to see them for the next few years.
Yeah, they keep it. They keep a good tight end. They keep a tight end going in that first round somewhere.
Yeah. Next up, we have number 13 Texas 41 over Michigan. Number 18 Michigan 27. What's your thoughts on this game? What stood out to y'all for Michigan dealing with all they've been dealing with and how they played yesterday? Because I think they played really, really well. And what did y'all see from Texas that makes y'all feel like Texas might be in good shape going into 2026?
And Texas actually looked like how they would look in game one. You know, we thought that well, not we thought, but Manning was doing it all. And he was doing a lot with his legs and picking up big first downs and gaining a lot of yards with those legs. And Michigan was throwing the ball. You know, Michigan came out with a really, really good offensive game plan. And I'm quite sure, you know, it might have been a little different if Michigan had them stud running backs back there to help them out during this game. But you know, we know during the bowl games, it's like who's ever out there playing. We can't talk about or count on somebody that's not out there in the game. And at the end of the day, all these young men put their uniform on the same way, and you go out there and you try to win a game for your program. So Texas really put on a great show yesterday. Texas put on a great show, and Michigan basically just look like Michigan. Like they have a little bit of excitement to their team, but they still gonna have a little ways to go before they're able to, you know, be on that level of competing for their championship.
I picked Texas in this game, but I wasn't sure what we were going to see with Texas having exactly 0 running backs that played during the regular season. You know, Michigan, all their issues going on up there. What were we going to get? But I figured Manning would be the difference. And when you're playing Texas right now, you know, your main thing is you need to make Arch beat you from the pocket. You can't let him break off 25 and 60-yard touchdown runs. That's gonna break your back. Um, he ain't the statue that you see from Peyton and Eli. The kid got some juice to him, you know. He can actually move. Like Peyton Manning was going to get fetched after 15 yards on that 60-yard touchdown run, but Manning just pulled away from the DBs. You know, so kudos to Texas. I had Texas winning this game. To take a little shot at T1, I was looking forward to this one for the SEC over the Big Ten. But that's just for fun right there between the two power conferences there is. Texas just looked good. One thing Texas needs to do, and I'm hoping it'll get fixed with Muschamp, is when it's third down, quit taking Colin Simmons and dropping him into pass coverage and just let that dude pin his ears back and go get him.
I don't think nobody took Michigan in this game. I don't even know if they play both with Michigan.
I don't either. I think Texas would have been favored by like 7, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was
7.5, I think.
Yeah.
What it do, brother?
What's happening with you?
Happy New Year, my brother.
Happy New Year.
New Year as well, man. Welcome, Parlay
What's
Post,
up?
Blitzberg, ladies and gentlemen. Savannah, Dope Blue. You know, for me, man, just watching this game, I thought this was actually a great game. Like, I really enjoyed this game. Just a few turnovers, I think, really decided this game. I watched Bryce really come into his own. Watching the young running backs on both sides of the football, for me, I like what I think coming into the next year for both teams. Even though Texas came away with a 14-point win, it's different than what it looked like with the turnovers late in the game. I think that's the only thing, because Michigan had the lead, Texas had the lead, Michigan had the lead. So for me, I just like the banger that this game was. Great things from Arch, great things from Underwood. So at the end of the season for those two QBs, just for me, my opinion personally, I'm looking forward to next season. You know, that's what I was waiting to see out of both of those QBs.
Yeah, I'll go next, Parlay Poe, and then you can wrap it up on this matchup between Texas and Michigan. I felt like this was a really, really good football game, man. And what I wanted to see out of both teams, I got to see. I got to see Michigan understand and listen, we're not going to handcuff Underwood. We're going to let him throw the football. We're going to let him use his legs. We're going to let him do the things that we know he can do. And they didn't handcuff him, man. And I felt really, really good for the Michigan program not doing that. Now, he threw a couple of interceptions, but even with those interceptions, Michigan was still in the game with an opportunity to score a touchdown, go for an onside kick, and possibly tie the thing up. They were in it the whole entire time, even with that level of mistakes and turnovers, man, which means that they was playing some really, really good football. And it was physical. Them dudes out there, both teams was hitting. They had several players on both sides of the teams go out with injuries because them dudes was hitting, bro. And you seen a lot of flags being thrown on some personal foul penalties. They was going at it, man. I like the fact that they both came in to play physical. They both wanted to establish the run. They didn't want to abandon the run, but both quarterbacks did really well throwing the football as well. And I really liked that game, man. It was really, really awesome. I just hope that whoever comes to coach the offense for Michigan next year understands what they got at the quarterback position, and they don't handcuff this guy, man. Let this guy do what he do. Even if he's going to throw a couple of interceptions, that's okay. You're going to always be in the game with a guy this talented, man. And I hope that that offensive coordinator lets him loose.
But we got, parlay poll. Is it 100% that Underwood is going to stay?
We don't know yet. Our season start today. You know what I mean? Like the portal open tomorrow, the season start today. We don't know if he's gonna leave. We don't know if we getting the Utah's offensive coordinator. Cause I know if he come, he gonna want to bring Dampier with him. You know what I mean? Like, so think about Underwood. For him to not be in this offense all year, he still have not been coached up though. His mechanics is still not right. Throwing off the back foot. You know how strong his arm is. He throwing off his back foot and still getting the ball there. What if he step into it and get some touch in it? That's coaching. That come along with being coached. He's not being coached up right. You know what I mean? So with this new regime coming in, I hope he be coached right. I hope he stay for real. But if he don't, there's more quarterbacks out there because I like what they talking about Willingham as being a coach, a hard-nosed coach. We need to stay aggressive. We need to get them big boys back up front. We definitely need to get linebackers because our linebackers was out this game and it showed. They was out. Our linebackers was out of play, especially on that long run by Arch. It wasn't no linebacker. You know what I mean? Like he ran straight up the hole. But that's playing with second and third string guys, but that wasn't playing all year. So we're gonna fix that. But I was impressed with Arch yesterday. No matter who he's playing, I was impressed with it. His arm looked live, real live. His legs always look live. You know what I mean? But Texas is the Colin dude coming back? Edge rusher?
He got one more year. Yeah.
Oh yeah. He a problem.
Oh,
He's gonna be a problem. Huh?
Simmons ain't going to the league.
No, he's only a true sophomore.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he a problem. Just like SEC Sean said, like on them passing downs, he need to be on that end. That's what he need to be on that end. But overall, our season start today trying to keep these dudes out the portal. I know for sure our two backup quarterbacks is getting in the portal. And I know we're trying to keep the young boy Marsh. We're trying to get him from not going in the portal. He got to talk it over with his family. But overall, it was an aggressive game, and I liked it.
Did he wear number 3 yesterday, Marsh?
Yeah. Number 3,
He looked real good out there in that number 3. Nothing against him in the 4, but I thought that was him. And I think, like, for me watching some of these players, even knowing they going into the portal, that they say, I like the fact that they getting out there playing because I think that gives them a feel and a taste to get that final decision and make a name for themselves even when they come to the NIL and what else they may be able to do. So,
Man, it's 3,200 people in the portal right now.
yeah, portal popping like popcorn
right
on
now.
the movie night.
What if these dudes don't get picked up on the team though?
In trouble. 1,200. Hey, I can tell you right now, 12 to 1,400 of them ain't getting picked up. They gonna be in trouble. They gonna mess around the D1 AA.
Yeah, exactly.
A lot of these dudes be messing up hopping in that portal. You better stay where you at. Why you got?
The one dude left Colorado. He ain't played the game yet, and been with 3 teams.
Yeah.
That's the cornerback you're talking about, I believe.
Yeah, like man, come on, man.
He's a high target for A&M. A&M wants him.
There's something wrong with his attitude or something, man. Y'all gotta check his attitude.
He was injured a little bit, but yeah, that's the kid. His dad or his brother or something played in the NFL too.
Where's he at now?
He's in Colorado right now, but he went into the portal, and they said that's a wish list gift for A&M. I don't think A&M's going to make a high run at him with a lot of money, but I think A&M's going to be like, hey, come here, be our nickel, something like that. So we'll see. Moss, are you working tonight?
No.
Okay. Well,
no, listen to him. He working tonight, bro. He working tonight.
Listen.
When that clock strikes 12:00 tonight, tomorrow morning, right at midnight, everybody better have your ESPN alerts silenced because they're gonna start blowing up because that's when the portal officially opens.
Yeah.
And that's gonna be just shit going off all night long. Ding 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 ding.
I'm threw it in the air, man.
I know our backup quarterback went into the portal. Miles O'Neal.
Hey, it's Miles from Pitt. Is he coming to Ohio State?
Who?
You said who?
The linebacker from Pitt that's from Pickerington.
I tap into that.
Is he coming home? And that's big because we losing both. Although we got some young linebackers that's ready to come, ain't nothing like having some seasoning out there. We losing both our linebackers, and that's the homegrown kid right there that has shown that he's a player to be reckoned with at that linebacker position. So I think we might have one coming home. Him and that defensive end from Penn State. I think we're gonna pick us up a couple good solid players here in this portal.
Yeah, he's special. That dude for Pitt, he a special linebacker though.
Yeah, I've watched him since little league. He played with my nephews, and watching him grow through the high school ranks to where he at, man. It's crazy, man. Went to school with his mom, so just seeing how he plays on that field, that would be special. Like you said, he is special as well to come play in your backyard. I think that stadium would really rock different. And like you said, losing linebackers, why not? That'd be something. Oh, man, that's cool. I'll go to a Buckeye game and support the young man for sure.
Yeah, y'all playing with these strings, man.
I think Vanderbilt might have a kid from Pickerington too on their defensive line that played really well yesterday in that game. I think it was Vanderbilt where they mentioned the guy. He got a sack on Iowa's quarterback, and they mentioned that he was from Pickerington, Ohio too.
Yeah, can't get all the kids though.
You can't get them all. Yeah, you can't get them all.
Can't get them all, but here with this portal. It allows kids if they want to come back home and they wasn't at the level where they could have went to Ohio State and now they can get in. I mean they're gonna be thinking about that.
Yeah, I see. That's on the coaches to go back and get that kid though.
Yeah. Oh yeah. You see Laurinaitis is on him.
Yeah.
See Laurinaitis is and now since take our L, we actually can focus on bringing some portal players in from this defense that's going to lose, like 5 first rounders next year. 4
Yeah,
first rounders.
yeah.
Yeah. Well, let's move on to our next game. The first game of the college football playoffs yesterday. The Miami Hurricanes, the 10th ranked Miami Hurricanes, 24 at number 2, Ohio State, 14. Miami was the first team to punch their ticket to the Final Four in the college football playoffs. What's your thoughts on this matchup? What stood out in this game that propelled Miami to the victory?
Just looked like Miami wanted it more. That's one thing that I noticed. The way they came out playing physical, just getting after it. You know, I think when we talk about Miami, as much as they faced throughout the season, as it got late in the season, not knowing if they was going to be in or not, a lot of people not even having them in the playoff, for them to not play in the ACC championship, to make the playoff, beat the team that pretty much everybody had favored to go back and be in the championship, if not win it to some. So I think that's a big testament to how ready Miami was. They had alumni presence. I think a lot of that stuff plays a part. Then you have Fletcher at the running back position, and then you have that defense. So I mean, kudos to Miami being ready, prepared, and Crystal Ball finally got him that big win. I think this is the win that Crystal Ball wanted to get, and I think this Miami team is not just in it. I think they in it to win it.
I don't think Miami wanted it more. More than how State could have did some things better. Because starting off in this game, you already know your bookend is crazy. I'm running at them first with this big old set. I'm getting these big old Ohio State dudes, Big Ten. We running the ball first. We running this ball first, and then I'm hold their aggression to them. Let them bookends come. Then little screen to Bo Jackson. They wasn't doing none of that. Little screen to Bo Jackson. We already know Smitty gonna do what he do. Number 4, but they should have played their aggression against them. When them dudes getting sacked, they had Sam back there just running. You can't do that. You got to keep a tight end in if you're going to go deep. I would have played the aggression with them. And then you see when they start running the ball with that number 12 dude, he hard to tackle. He a big guy. He hard to tackle. They should have been doing that in the first half. I said the first half, they should have came out like that. But Carson Beck, he didn't make a mistake. So usually when you beat Miami, he had like 2 interceptions, fumbles, and everything like that. Even though he had 100 and something yards only passing, you would think if you said that, like right now, you would have said Ohio State is going to win if Beck only got 100 and something yards passing. But he didn't make a mistake. You know what I mean? And then they start running the ball. But other than that, I say Ohio State. It was a good game, but Ohio State could have they could have easily won that game though.
No doubt.
Yeah, they could have easily won the game. They also could have been beat even worse.
Yeah.
If you go back to where Miami drove in the first drive and fumbled on the 19-yard line, that game technically could have been 21-0 at halftime.
Well, they didn't fumble. That was a great play by a
Oh, it
freshman
was.
back.
You're right. He punched it out. There's no lie.
That was a big play.
Right. He did. I mean, he made a hell of a play. He came in, he punched right on top of the ball and knocked it loose. But
Play
you know,
better.
I don't know. I think Ohio State, they looked off. And I know I don't want to use the layoff as an excuse because that's just kind of an easy way out. It just, those defensive ends from Miami. I told people that D line from Miami is not a joke. They are legit. I saw it firsthand. The week when they played A&M, I knew they were good, but I didn't realize how good they were. And that offensive line from Miami really ain't no slouch either. They can push you around too. I think the difference in the game to me though was it wasn't what Beck did with his arm. It's what he did with his legs. That 3rd and 6, I want to say in the 4th quarter where he took off and just lowered his shoulder, knowing he needed 7 and had to run over a couple of people to get it. He did what he needed to do. Got the first down, which extended that drive. I think Beck's picked and choose when to use his legs, and that was a big difference to me in the game. Was, I just what I thought was made the difference was the way Beck was just picking up first downs. So, Ohio State's fine. I mean, I know the Ohio State people up here that I know are all ticked off and upset about it, but Miami was at the beginning of the year a top 2 team in the nation too, and there's a lot of talent on that roster. So, I don't think it's anything crazy for Ohio State. I mean, Miami, I didn't have them winning the game, but we'll see with what happens. But that God, they're physical, and you hear it from Cristobal when he says we want to be violent, and you can see it. If you all don't mind, let me run through these previews today real quick. My granddaughter's here, and we're gonna go make cookies. I'm gonna take Oregon over Tech in a close game. I think it's going to be a really good game, but I think Oregon's experience in their offense is going to be a little bit too much for Tech. I'm going to take Georgia over Ole Miss. I know Georgia's on the layoff and everybody talking about it, but I'm going to take Georgia over Ole Miss. I think they know Ole Miss. I think Ole Miss Georgia to me is playing the best ball of anybody in college football right now. And then that Alabama-Indiana game, I'm really looking forward to that one. I think with all the rain going on in L.A., I think that might actually favor Alabama to muck up the field a little bit, make it more of a trenches game. I'm going to go with Indiana.
Run the ball.
I say Indiana can run the.
No, they can't run the ball, but we're going to see. They've had some games where Jam Miller has taken off, and we're going to see. And plus, they're getting their defensive lineman, LT Overton, back. I think Indiana beats them, but I think it's closer than what people are expecting it to be. I think I've heard a lot of people saying Indiana's going to blow Alabama out. I don't see that. I see Indiana winning. I see Oregon winning, and I see Georgia winning. That's just how I have the rest of the day going today. And then we'll see what happens from there. But other than that, I'm going to go jump in here and help my granddaughter get messy and nasty and dirty and have some fun with her. And we'll catch up probably tomorrow, see where we're at with these games. Y'all be good. Enjoy the new year and be safe.
Peace.
Oh, man.
All right,
Peace,
cool.
man.
See you, SEC show.
All right.
Have a good one.
Walsburg, did you go already?
Yeah, he went first.
Yeah, I
Oh,
went
okay.
first already on this one.
All right, I'll go into T1. You can go last. I felt like Miami understood the formula to being successful against Ohio State. They came out, they ran the ball well when they threw the short passes. They didn't force Carson back to try to make plays down the field. Even though they threw the ball downfield a couple of times to keep Ohio State honest on the back end, I think they understood we got to run the football, we got to be physical in these trenches, and we got to hit these short passes, and they were able to do that to get Beck in a really, really nice rhythm. And I think that was part of the key to their success in this game. I agree with you, Parlay Poe. Ohio State has to recognize going into this game that these two bookends that they have, you got to come out there in 12 personnel like you seen them do in the second half and run the football. They had to do that to start the game off. I think everybody who said anything about this game understood that Ohio State needed to establish the run first, because if you try to sit back and pass against this Miami team, those bookends are going to be a little bit too dangerous. And we saw that much in the first half, and then towards the closeout of the game. I just feel like maybe Ohio State came in with the wrong game plan, even though they did make those adjustments in the second half. They should have came out in 12 personnel, and I think they would have fared a lot better. Because we saw that teams that beat Miami, they ran the football at Mesidor. They put in a tight end or two, and they ran at Mesidor all day and was able to have success. And I thought maybe Ohio State would take a page out of those teams' books to help them out. But we saw Miami took a page out of Indiana's book and was able to get pressure on Sayin to throw off his timing. Julian saying, buddy, listen to me. You are very smart. You are very accurate. You're a very good quarterback. At some point, you have to run the football. You can't stay back there trying to make a play with your arm. You got to run. The team don't think you're going to run. They ain't going to be worried about that part of your game. You got to force yourself to run that football, even if it's only for a couple of yards, to make that defensive team change up how they're going to do things. Much like we seen C.J. Stroud do in some of them games against Michigan where he wouldn't run the football. When he ran in that bowl game, though, you started to see how successful they can be. You got to run the ball, Julian, saying sometimes when that pressure is on you. Go ahead, T1.
Man, you and but first, Parlay Poe, you missed that one out the park because we should have been attacking them DNs. We should have been going right at those DNs. You know, we kind of allowed them to have their way. And Rob, you're absolutely right. I said even before the game, you know, as just talking about this Ohio State team and Coach Ryan Day and how he differs from what Urban Myers was doing. And also to a certain extent, you even could say Jim Tressel was doing. Our quarterbacks were running the ball since Ryan Day has come in. He has the pocket passers and they're throwing the ball, and we're no longer seeing that Ohio State quarterback run the ball, pick up those needy first downs. We're not seeing that. That has to get incorporated back into this offense. If we're gonna do it, we have to have that quarterback that can touch that ball and go with it, and go along with that good running game. But with this game, you know, and I'm just gonna say it. Even as a fan, that break was too freaking cool. I mean, it was too long to wait to get to see Ohio State play again. You know, that was like that had to be the longest gap ever that I had to wait to see my Buckeyes, and I hated it. I hated it. And when you saw them on that field, you could tell that they had not been playing for a long, long time. You know, and I think that played a huge difference. But man, y'all know how I look at these games, and that picks that saying through. I mean, I have no idea what he would. That was like he just threw it just straight to the DB. You know, as many times as we watched plays like those ran, you know, you hardly ever get a big six that easy. You'll see the player be just really close, like, woo, he almost got that baby. He could have been gone, but that big six right there, I know it was early, but it was almost a game. You know, it was almost a game. And, I mean, he just threw that ball to him. I didn't like nothing about that play. And you, with his IQ, there's no way that you can do that. Like your receiver, you didn't see your receiver by himself. I mean, there's just no way that you throw that ball and then building this build up like man. Good. So well as Miami played, and as they we were still had an opportunity to win. Like a lot of you may not remember, and kudos to Miami. They had a great game plan. It was better than ours. They were ready to play, and I can't say that we wasn't ready to play. I think our defense was up for the challenge. Our defense was up for the challenge. You know, you take away that pick six, and our defense was still doing a great job against that Miami offense. So, you know, we did enough to win that game. A lot of but they scored 17-14. It was just under 4 minutes, like about 54 something to go. So the whole game is a 3-3 game. It's Malachi Tony, whatever that kid's name is. It's a 3-point game. He lines up offside, and there was no call. That was a very, very big play. They got 3 yards. But that was a very, very big play. But one thing I will say about the vision game, no flags. I love how they wasn't being flagged. You know what I mean? I don't even know if it's been the first half. There's no flags. 5, 6, 7, 8, 10 flags. So I will say kudos to the record.
You treat me like a piece of shit. You should have just left me alone.
Big play. So I like that, but I don't know how you missed it and end up like that. You know, just a player that ain't done. Pass the ball with the ball. You know, so that was bad. That a big but that's very that keep my head confidence. You didn't so the 7, 6 in the best field. We shot ourselves.
I can't hear him.
I'm not.
Your audio is really, really choppy right now, T1.
But I'm
Okay.
we shot ourselves. You know, from Miami, they got some big fight.
Yeah, you choppy as I don't know what.
Yeah, you super choppy. You might have to go out and come back in.
I'm gonna
get a better reception.
Yeah,
Okay.
on that pick six, I think that was all about film study.
Yeah.
He seen that same play in film and seeing exactly what he was looking and said, Jeremiah ain't gonna be able to block me on this one. Soon as he seen that tight end come in motion, he looked over there. He said, "Oh yeah, I'm jumping this." You know what I mean? Even if he didn't get the interception, it was gonna be incomplete. Trust me.
Yeah, but he should have. Am I still choppy, y'all?
No, now you good now.
Yeah, he should have never threw that ball. That was a ball that you don't throw.
No, it's a timing play. That play straight timing.
Yeah, but even though, right? Yeah, I know it's a timing play, but you're looking right down that line. You see that it's not there.
I know. No, he ain't see it was there. That's what I'm trying to tell you. That play worked every time in practice. You know what I mean? Every time in practice, that play worked. So as soon as he got the ball, he just threw it. You know what I mean? Like boom.
You don't see the DB's numbers. He saw his own numbers. If you see that DB's number, you don't throw that ball.
No, I'm telling you, he ain't seen. I'm trying to tell you.
No, that wasn't. No, he didn't see him. He just stood about the play.
Yeah, that's what I said.
He wasn't expecting you to be there because he expected Smith to get that block.
Yeah,
no look pass.
Right, but and that's what I'm saying. You saw that the DB was right there. You saw that block didn't take place, or however the pick, whatever they were supposed to do, you saw that got blown up. You don't throw that ball, young fella. You don't throw that ball 99.9 of the time. When you see that cornerback, you see his numbers. It's not there. He wasn't far enough away from that receiver. He was right in front of the receiver. He was in a position that the receiver was supposed to be in. You don't throw that ball, man. And like I say, that was one of them head scratching plays for me. And it's always a play or two in every game that I watch where I just scratch my head and I just shake my head like, man, that's bad.
Just a quick thought. Is this a question of concern? Question for concern, seeing the fact that the pressure. Are we seeing the pressure bust
No,
players?
absolutely not, bro. We was, like I said, it was a 3-point game with just under 4 minutes to go.
I'm saying
3-point
the pressure.
game, third and 3.
The five backs.
We
I'm
get
talking
a
about
stop
pressure
right
on the
there.
QB.
No, there's no pressure with nothing. We lost the game. I think more than anything, they almost 4-week layoff in between games. That's just absolutely too long. They have to do something about that. Get these things started. What's the purpose of not playing football for this long? Like, that just makes absolutely no sense. And as we saw it from last year, all those teams, and I was hoping that it didn't happen this year, but last year, all the teams with the layoffs lost. I mean, I hope and pray
Yeah,
that it's not like that again today. But
yeah.
we saw last year that long break, it affects the game, along with you not rewarding the top 4 teams. You rewarded 5 through 8 with the home game. I also feel like those top 4 teams, especially if you got them with a layoff like this, they're definitely coming out this layoff with a home game.
So what you saying? Don't have a good record?
No, I'm saying first, and I've already said this: 1 through 4, their first game should be a home game. Those are the ones who should definitely have the home game. And then I'm just saying that they shouldn't be waiting 3.5 weeks, 4 weeks to play a game. That's just ridiculous.
But they trying to give y'all reward for being good during the season.
That's
Get a
not a
bye
reward.
and
A
give
break
y'all
ain't
people get y'all's players healthy. You know what I mean? But like you said, everybody with a bye lost. You know what I mean? Like
yeah.
we're gonna see if
Everybody
that
else
happened
played
today.
within 2 weeks. Everybody else played a game within 2 weeks. But then again, y'all's last game was freaking a month ago as well.
Yeah,
Y'all last played what, November the 29th, and then y'all played December the 31st. That's
yeah,
crazy.
yeah,
That's
yeah.
crazy. That's just too long. Like, why are we waiting this long? Play these games and get them over with. Could you imagine the NFL if they took a 3-week break just because you won your division? You sitting at home for 3 weeks before you play? That's just ridiculous. They gotta fix it.
Yeah, I think this bye week thing or this bye game thing is really making a strong case for them to go to 16 teams as opposed to 12 teams. Because in the 12-team format, you have no choice. You got to have 4 teams have a bye. But if you go to 16, then everybody can play, and those 1 through 4s can get a home game along with those 5 through 8s. And I think that's the format that they probably want to go to, especially if another bye team loses today. That's really going to make a strong case. If you go 6-2 or 2-6 in these bye games, that's going to be a strong case for them to go to 16 teams because I don't think any coach wants that bye game. They would rather play in 2 weeks like everybody else did. I know as a coach, I would want that to be the case too. I wouldn't want that long of a layoff.
Hey,
So
y'all,
you going
what
so
seed
you
did
would
I say I wanted Ohio State? What seed did I say I wanted Ohio State to have the whole year? What seed did I want, y'all?
5.
Number 5.
yeah.
Number 5. I didn't want no bye. I didn't want none of that. Give me my home game and let me get started.
5 is a sweet spot. That's for sure.
5,
Yeah.
6, 7, 8.
Yeah.
5, 7, 8 is the sweet spot.
But with that 16 team, with the 16 teams, you got to be cool with having blowouts then. You know what I mean? Because some teams gonna get blew out. You're gonna have to. It's gonna be some power 4 and 3 and 4 lost teams in there.
You leave out the James Madisons and the Tulanes. You're not gonna have them blowouts if you leave them out. You're gonna have them. You're gonna have
They
some.
gonna have to with the 16.
No,
With the 16, the little dude gonna have to make it. 2 little dudes gonna have to make it.
you get them little dudes out, and what would we been at? 4 teams: Notre Dame, Texas. Who else? We need 2 more.
BYU.
BYU and what? Virginia.
Who was 15? Somebody just played. 15 just played, didn't they?
Virginia was up in there one day.
Who?
There's all type of teams that you could
Utah would have been the other team in
You
there.
could take a 3-loss USC. You're not gonna have no blowouts.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. This is without the little guy. Yeah, without the little guy.
Yeah, little guy don't get in. We ain't got no time for that. And I agree too. Make up an NIT for football. Let them.
That's what the bowl games is. The bowl games is the NIT.
Well, but they're not playing for nothing. It's not a tournament. Make it an actual tournament and put a whole nother 12 in there with the little guys and let the little guys play for something.
Yeah, they could do that too.
Yeah,
they can do that too.
Football. You put them in them little bowl games that we didn't watch. You know what I mean? Now it's more interesting.
Imagine Duke versus Texas on the advancing in a tournament after yesterday's wins. Just saying.
Well, I would like to see them go ahead and ESPN and all these other channels. You got to throw some money together, man, and go ahead and make a group of 5, group of 6 play off of their own. You can't expect these guys to come in here and have no Cinderella story in football. It's not going to happen, man.
No, never.
Just go ahead and take the top 16 teams in the Power 4 and let them play in the CFP. That's what I would like to see.
You got the group of 6 national champions.
Yeah. And then you know what? Them dudes who set out, they gonna have to play then.
Ain't no sitting out.
Yeah, ain't no sitting out. Yeah, they gotta play.
And they gotta do that too. You if you sit out, you forfeit some money. You paying up some money.
Take some of that nil back.
Yeah, you can't just be out here having your cake and your ice cream and everything. I don't know if y'all know about Penny Hardaway and that ex-Buckeye that played for Memphis, but dudes showing up to practice late and all this. Guess what Penny said? Man, I'm getting up in that NIL, man. It's gonna every time you late, it's gonna cost you 5 stacks. You think that being late? No, you get paid. You want this money? You need to be available. Ain't no holding out of no bowl game. That's gonna cost you some change.
Yeah.
I would like to see them go to that kind of a format too, man. Where these guys are, you're gonna get compensated if you go, but if you don't go, you're gonna have to give some of that bread back. There's got to be some way to work that out. Hopefully, they'll do that in the near future.
Man, you're professional athletes now. The only way you don't play is if you are injured. If you hurt, you got to play.
Yeah, for real.
Let's move it, Rob.
All right, let's go into today's action. The first game we got up at noon today, we got number 5 Oregon versus number 4 Texas Tech. What's your thoughts on this game? How do y'all see this outcome going?
Can Texas Tech tackle in space? Because they about to see a whole lot of space with these Oregon teams. But I still don't. I'm not for sure Texas Tech's offense. Their defense is stout. They crazy up top with the big uglies, but I'm not really keen on their offense. So I'm gonna take Oregon.
Man, this almost looks like it could definitely be impossible. Another team who had too long of a break, and Oregon just got done playing, so they're ready. They're ready to play. So this is going to be a very interesting kickoff to this New Year Day bowl games, and I'm taking Oregon too. And because I'm a Big Tenner right now, and I definitely need both of my Big Ten teams to win today. If not, that's taking us down. We've been having a great bowl season thus far, and our one powerhouse already went down. So we need these last two to stay strong.
I think for this game, I think Oregon, one of the quietest, most slept on tight ends this season has been Kenyon Sadiq over in Oregon. I think we're going to get a wide variety of what his ability is to do. One of the top prospects at the NFL, and I think they're going to shock what they're going to do, I think, for Texas Tech. And like you said, you said space. Oregon is a fast team. We know what they hold at the linebacker position. I think today they get tested. I think Kenyon is the perfect player to be going up against this Texas Tech Red Raiders linebacking core. I think we're going to see some great things at the quarterback position as well out of Moore. So this is a must-see game at noon. So I'm definitely going with Oregon. And don't be shocked if Oregon get a couple touchdowns and they show us something we didn't expect. Let's put that out there as well.
This is a game that I feel like Texas Tech defensively can get pressure on the quarterback from Oregon. They can win this football game. I think they got a good enough defense to do so to slow them down. But at the same time, I feel like Texas Tech's offense can move the ball on Oregon. I kind of favor Texas Tech in this game because I feel like they can move the ball on Oregon, because Oregon, although they can score some points, they can give up some points as well. And I think that might be the difference in the game. If Barrett Morgan can protect the football and could get it to his playmakers, I can see Texas Tech winning this game. So I'm going with Texas Tech in a really close game, probably winning by 3 or less.
You taking Tech?
I'm taking Tech.
Big 12 AC guy.
Well, when you're talking about Oregon, you're talking about, like what Parlay Post said, just a fast team, but they're not physical, which means they're not going to dominate the game, which means that gives Texas Tech a chance defensively to do some things because they ain't going to get out physical by Oregon. Now, if they was playing another Big Ten team that's physical, I would not give Texas Tech a chance in this game because the physical Big Ten team would just maul them and keep them on the sideline offensively. But I don't think Oregon's going to be able to do that, and I don't think Oregon is physical enough to be able to beat Texas Tech in the trenches. So I'm going to go with Texas Tech in this one because I feel like defensively they can get after the passer, Texas Tech, that is. I think their pass rush guys are really, really good. And I think that's going to probably be the difference in the game to slow down Oregon's offense.
And you don't think the layover is going to affect Texas Tech? No.
It could. I mean, that's the outlier in this. The fact that they've been off for a while, they could definitely get off to a slow start. That's very, very possible. I hope not, but that's very, very possible. What do y'all think about number 9 Alabama versus number 1 Indiana in the Rose Bowl, where it is right now? It's a swamp. I don't know if it stopped raining and if they can keep that field conditions from being slushy, because they had that tarp on all yesterday. Hopefully it can still be a fast track. What do y'all think about this matchup between number 9 Alabama versus number 1 Indiana. I think they play at 4 p.m. today.
They just took the tarp off, Rob. They just took the tarp off of the field, and I don't know. It looked like it kind of still drizzling a little bit or something. I saw a few droplets dropping down, but um, I don't know if it's time for them to get out on the field and warm up or whatever, whatnot. But they have taken the tarp off of the playing field. They still had it around the sidelines, but the playing field, the tarp was off. But this is the most interesting game for me right here because it what Indiana team are we going to see? That's what I think everybody knows the Alabama team that they're going to see. But now it's like, what Indiana team are we going to see? And once again, playoff. Is it going to affect it? And if they are no longer in that groove that they were in, I think they might be in trouble. But I'm going with Big Ten. But I don't know the playoff. But
For me, I'm going Alabama. I'm not hesitating. I like Alabama in this game. I think another team, as we had our talks about being in or out of the playoff. I think they belong in a playoff after seeing how they've performed and the possibility of some of the other teams that could have been in, but respectively where they at playing the number one team. I think they come out. I think we're going to see Ryan in a different light today. I think he got to be more of a guy that gets the ball multiple ways like Bernard does. He got to come off of a jet sweep, come in motion, just to get early touches. Even though the weather is crazy, like T1 said, I'm watching it and seeing how the tarp was just raised off of it. I don't know. It looks better for the Oregon Texas Tech game for sure.
I'm taking Indiana, man. Because if they could make it, Alabama's already one dimensional. They rely on Ty Simpson and them receivers. If they Indiana guard them receivers like they did Ohio State. I feel Ohio State have better receivers than Alabama. If they guard them guys like that, get that pass rush, can run, have Mendoza do what he do, I think they can beat Alabama because Alabama can't run the ball. And their defense ain't that good either.
Yeah, this game right here is sort of a toss-up because Mendoza hasn't really been playing all that great. Now, down the stretch in games, he's made some plays, but he hasn't played all that great in the last couple of games. With the layoff, could that also, throw him off? He was at the Heisman Trophy presentation. He was dealing with a lot of stuff with that. Could all of that have an effect on him in this game? Alabama cannot run the football. Can they scheme up some things where Alabama can get into their playmaking wide receivers or some short throws to help compensate for the fact that they don't have a run game? Bernard is going to have to be huge in this game. Ryan Williams has got to be huge in this game. Their receivers have to be huge in this game along with the tight end. And Ty Simpson is going to have to make some runs in this game with his legs when the opportunity presents itself. My issue with that is Indiana is not going to make a whole lot of mistakes. They're going to be fundamentally sound. They're going to be where they're supposed to be. They're going to do the things they're supposed to do. Can Alabama be maybe a little bit more athletic? Can they take advantage of their athletic skill in this game? I think it's going to be a really good matchup. I'm pulling for Alabama because they're in the SEC. But I think Indiana is going to win this game. The last one we got on the docket before we wrap up the show, we got number 6 Ole Miss versus number 3 Georgia at 8 p.m. tonight. What do y'all think about this matchup? These two teams played earlier in the season. Georgia prevailed. Can y'all see Georgia doing it again because they're playing really, really good football right now? What's your thoughts on this matchup?
Shoot. I ain't so big in regular season matchups and definitely not in playoff games, but I think I'm good. But
Okay.
I'm talking about Georgia been in a long break too, right?
Yeah.
Say it again.
So Georgia been in a long break too, right?
Yeah, they've been on a long break.
So it's hard to just keep beating up on teams. So Ole Miss needs to hop out culture and do something early. If they don't, they're in trouble. They can get out on Georgia early, they're in trouble. But I'm pretty sure. But I can't keep PTSD saying that you that you may be able to afford to be rested against the team that you just
I think for this one, I think it's going to be pretty. I think it's actually going to be a pretty good game. I think one of the most, I would say, slept on games. I don't know if everybody really have this game on their radar. It's an 8 p.m. game. It's a prime time game, so everybody's going to be watching this game. But Ole Miss, we know what they're dealing with. I don't know if coach is going to be at the game. All of that stuff plays a part in Ole Miss being in this playoff, being where they at. They got there by going out on the field. Coach might have been there on the sideline, making different calls, different adjustments. But at the end of the day, they're out there on the field playing. I think they leave everything out on the field. They know if they get Georgia, they feel like they top dog in the SEC at this point of the season, even after not being in the SEC championship. So for me, I like this Ole Miss team beating the Georgia Bulldogs tonight, 8 p.m. I got Ole Miss in a close one, but it's going to be a banger.
You talking about violent. Watch how violent Georgia play. They is so physical right now. Out of everybody in the CFB, they playing the best football. They is so physical on offense and defense. I told you Kirby Smart had the defense only meeting. They came out the last 3 games. Feel like this is Georgia football now. But with that long layoff, dudes then got healthy. So I'm expecting they got to have Chambers beat him from the he got to beat him with their arm. They can't have him using his legs for Ole Miss. Everything got to be on his arm. Just like you said, they lost Lane Kiffin and everything, but this a different Georgia team. So I got Georgia in this game.
Yeah, I like what you said about Chambers having to win this game from the pocket post on his arm. Because I'm telling you, he's not going to outrun those Georgia guys, man. He's not going to do it. And I think that if he can do this thing with his arm and Lacey can run the ball well, they have a chance to be in this game. But the physicality of this Georgia team is going to be the difference in this game for Georgia. I think they're going to be way too physical for Ole Miss. They're going to run the football. They're going to throw the short passing game. They're going to use their tight ends. They're going to just move the chains and keep Chambers on the sideline. I think that this Georgia team is going to win this game rather easily, in my opinion. I think they're going to win it easily by at least 2 scores for sure. I just don't think Ole Miss is going to be up for the physical challenge that they're about to face with this Georgia team. Anything else y'all want to talk about before we wrap up?
Just give a shout out to KT and Justin, man, for your Hurricanes getting a big win.
And Bo, New York. New York Bo.
New York.
That's what I say. I know y'all know somebody else. I can't think of any outside of that, man. And even the Onion, man, I was thinking about him when we was talking about Nebraska, because I know you talk about Onion being a Nebraska fan.
Yeah.
Hopefully things get better.
Jeff Stanley, like Miami. Yep. I know a couple of them.
Yeah, man. So, that was a good big win, man. So they could get together, hang out, talk about the next one. And outside of that, man, just check on your people, as we always say, man. Just check on your people. You know, it's a new year. Make sure you're doing that. Just seeing a lot of things with mental health going around. So me personally, that's just something I like to do, man. Check on your people. I've been doing it myself lately. People has been checking on me. I appreciate it. So like we do within this group, man, we build something different. And it feels good to wake up and know that I can get in the chat with the guys who we see every day within our podcast, man, and just feel like we just being so transparent, which we are, but it's nothing better. So make sure you around like-minded people, man, this new year, man, and you'll definitely see a difference in your lifestyle, regardless of if somebody think you being different, you just being positive with a different outlook.
Yeah, we'll definitely be back tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. where we'll be discussing today's games and the outcomes of those, and also the last week in the NFL in the regular season and all the playoff implications that are being played this weekend. I think there's some games Saturday in the NFL and Sunday. So we're going to be talking about that tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. So if you get a chance, join us.
For sure.
You choppy.
As T-Rod always telling us, man, he a little choppy. Hit us with it, T-Rod. Come under that choppiness, man.
It's in the building now. We up out this, baby. Peace, man. I love y'all.
Love you, man.
Man. Love y'all.
Have a good one, man.
For sure, man. Happy to be here again, fellas.
All right, y'all. Peace.